Radha Swami,
This one.
welcome to this Bhandara. Very special day for me. At Ishvapuri Sanmana, we celebrate the great master Bhandara and my master Bhandara, April the 2nd and December 23rd. These Bhandaras are connected for me. Why they connected? Because to me, great master Hazur Baba Sawan Singh and my master Ishvapuri Cezary Maharaj, they are one and the same. They are one and the same. And this is something my master proved to me. This is not Cezary belief something. This is direct experience. If he didn't granted me that, I probably will be failing to the rest of my life every day. So this is what is keeping me. We celebrate this Bhandara because these are the blessings of the great master and my master. You can separate this. It's little here. I'm not saying this lightly because I take this seva of my very seriously, as of many of you know, that I am a very serious man. My personality, my character. So you need to know me like for 5 days, different times to realize that, like Grace said, that I am not that tough, maybe. I so the message of this Bhandara is like always, if you have love, you have everything. And if you do not have love, you have nothing. I will repeat this every time. This is something I learned decades ago from someone I admire spiritually very much at the time. But now I just, during my journey on this path, things change, of course. We grow up within ourselves, within the consciousness. Things we believe maybe 30, 40 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, we see things from a different perspective. And the kappa I'm wearing right now, it is the gift from my friend, Pranay. So I'm wearing this out of respect and gratitude to him, not just to make myself look different. I'm not here trying to impress anyone. My master told me I do not have to. He said, do not, his teachings, his coaching to me, one of this was not to compare myself. He said, he taught me a lesson at one time, real life lesson, and he said, "Are you comparing yourself?
Competing.
Hmm?
Are you competing?
Are you competing with?" He said, "I won't mention." But he was, "Are you competing with?" Because this was the situation. He put me in charge. He put me in charge of overseeing some activities in Europe. But then I got fired, you know, not by over there, by whoever was, excuse me, apologize. So they went to the master and complained, and they won't listen to me. And I'm sitting with him privately, Grace, and he says, so it's okay, I've been stabbed so many times that it doesn't matter if I'm stabbed again. And I said, okay. And this was the time when I supposed to go personally with the master. He asked me to show him specific town in Europe to go with him, town I was born. So, but these masters will teach you compassion and will teach you humility, He said, so because some of the people during these years, they will actually write to the master, oh, why Cezary this or why Cezary that. I mean, even president will go to the master, what's with Cezary? I mean, is this life karma or is this past life karma? Why will master see me so many times, basically every time? So please understand the intention was not to take anyone's place, anything like that, really. But there are things had to be worked out from the master to me. So later he resolved this because he will see Grace and I privately. No one will know. So we will travel with him and we will be introduced to many beautiful souls, which I cherish immensely to today. And when he finished with me, and that was around the 5th of January and the 6th of January, when he finished all this process with me, when I agree to it, then I maybe even more than once, right? I mean, sometimes we say yes, no, and with these masters, one yes is yes, and no is no. There's no maybe. But like I said, he taught me a lesson not to compete. So I do not compete with anyone. I'm just simple Sabadara for my master. But whatever I say and whatever I do with faith in him and with respect to him and with the power he granted me. So that is why I'm very serious and I don't take things very lightly. I'm very serious at this path. if he did not have such a mercy for me, and he did not give me ultimate forgiveness, I will not be able to do this. I will not be able to speak on the record right now. So my concerns are spiritual concerns. My seva is the spiritual seva. I am not involved with building ashrams or daras, anything like that. When I asked him, do you want me to get involved in this? He said, no. So my seva is purely spiritual. My concern is the soul, nothing less. Your soul, my soul, the real you, the real me, not the mind. I learned last 3 years plus that everything he said to us, Grace and I, in the first week of in Las Vegas, first week of 2020, came true. He did foresee everything. I am stunned and amazed, no more. How did he know what's going to happen? How could he foresee what's going to happen? Even before he left his physical form, being in a hospital, and 2 months before that, all the arrangements he made. How did he know? But he did, and he made all those arrangements. And he made sure I know his hukum, not just at the time before he passed away, but he made sure. Even 2 years after he died, that this hukum is still going to be revealed to me. He made that arrangements. So I want to thank him for that. I want to thank him for that. That even 2 years after he passed away, and as recently, weeks or months, I am able to have a knowledge of his true Moj. Allergies. So he made sure of that. So this Bhandara we have, and anything I do, it's in that respect. Okay, I do not try to interfere what anyone else say or does. I've been observing for last 3 years. So many things. You know, what happened to the sun god? Why the sun god? I'm referring to Mr. Puri Sangat at the time. You know, so some few hundred people, like why all of them, all these different groups in a sense divided, kind of, you know. You have a group in India and US and in Canada and some other groups, everyone is trying to prove, they speak in the name of the master. So I've been observing that, but he said to us, in Las Vegas, he said, Cezary, there'll be 2 or 3 who are going to be claiming they are my successors. He said that. And I remember I said to him, really? I mean, who? And I said, you mean like from the sun god? They're gonna be claiming that they are successors, like from the people who attended Harper College, like when we went there, was seeing it. He said, this like that kind of scenario. He said, yes. So we knew this is gonna happen way before Master passed away, year before he passed away, and everything else he revealed to Grace and I. Things which I mean, he revealed everything. At that point, he had to totally. These masters at that point, there has to be total trust between the disciple and the master. It's not just a trust from the disciple to the master, like 100%. Oh, I trust the master unconditionally, but this has to develop to master trusting disciple, like 100,000%, because now the master, like Mr. Puri, is it's faced with revealing himself. He has to reveal these masters, pioneers. They have to reveal themselves. They have to make arrangements before they can leave. Otherwise, they can't. So I had recently someone telling me here in this house, actually, not that long ago, someone very close to the master, my master. He said, Cezary, master told me, Mr., privately, that he loved you like his own son. And really, and he said, and it's also with the life before this life, And I said, yeah. So there are some people up there who do know what I do. And they do not interfere with what I do. Actually, I received that. I received one condition. I received, Cezary, whatever you do after Mr. Puri passed away, years, whatever you do with the love and devotion. And I've been asked, do I answer the emails? Right? People write to me. I said yes. So I kind of promise, that I will answer the emails and people who are asking me questions in one way or the other. But I also received the advice, to be like an elephant going to the village. Yes, there are people alive beside Grace, which I do ask for advice. Yes, these are very, very spiritual people, very close to the master. So I am also, if I need to speak to someone or have advice, the opinion, I must make sure that that this will happen as we speak also. But just had to be like an elephant, just which is going through the village. I was told that the village dogs are always going to be running and barking, right? And not to pay attention to that, just keep going, like the elephant going to the village. I want to thank so many beautiful souls for supporting me and helping me and giving me their opinion about the seva and everything else. I learned immensely during the last 3 years myself. We all learn, including you. Many of you have been with Ishva Puri Sanmat from the day one, so to speak. Many left. Some new members of Ishva Puri Sanmat are here. This is not to be a huge group, and this is by design. This is my deal with the master, okay? Just like the deal with John Masen, this whole story. I had my own deal. Now I'm not saying I'm the master, okay? I'm not the master. But I have my original deal with the master goes to the first interview I had with him. And then I made the deal with him in person also. He made the deal with me. That was in the Synergy Ranch. I believe that was at the time when I met Nicholas Robinson, a beautiful soul. I looked at Nicholas then. And I knew this is the true seeker. I knew it right away, guess and I. Pure soul. Someone you really want to like to be around. Has his own way of looking things, but I knew this is the true soul. But this is the time when I had an interview with my master, and the next deal was made between master and I. And he was very careful at the time, and he was his master testing us, right? He was making sure I can fulfill my end of the deal. There was no question about him fulfilling the deal about the, I mean, I'm just a simple man. But he agreed, and we shake our hands, literally shake the hands. And the third deal, it is going back to, I mean, to this last Bhandara we had here in Sedona. You may say, but the real deal was made a long time ago. And when we spent time with him in Las Vegas, that whole week from 31st of December or 29th December to 6th of January 2020, because I spent the New Year's Eve with my master. Just what I mean by that, just master and I. No one else was present. Or here, I learned many things then, and during that week, I learned many things, and it was him. I knew way inside, but it was him who revealed these things. And to me, and Grace is a witness to many of that. And many people were there, quite a few people, so they know I was there. But later it was just Master, Grace, and I. And this is the time when he really revealed everything at the time, and he said, what's gonna happen. And he said, I mean, tomorrow I have to fly back to Chicago. There's someone coming from England, they wants to see me and things like that. Some people writing books, and so I knew everything ahead. He would tell us everything at that time, but he would say, "Zip, not to share for years." So Grace and I will be attending this, and in the end, it was just mostly our goal. Like the last, it wasn't February. It was the February about his last 2020 satsang in Harper College. So that is
No,
on March.
that was his birthday. For his birthday.
No, I mean like open one, like in the
okay.
Harper College before the COVID kicks in the March and all this rest, because he was still giving satsangs out of that office in Shamburg. It's another story. So, but
Oh, and we were
I'm referring to the one in Harper College.
well, we were there.
And I remember we signed in for interviews, but we're sitting with the waiting. We were actually just signing just in the case, I mean, but Diane came over and said, "Oh, Master,
You're gonna have a dinner with me.
huh?
Yeah.
Why you sign in for interview? You're gonna have a dinner with the master after the satsang after that, right?" So, but anyway, so this is the time when even if we didn't have a 5 minutes interview, we will have hours of interview with him, and it was always like that. So at one point, he said privately in front of few, he said, I gave more time to Cezary than just to anyone else. These are his exact words, and Grace heard those words. He said that in front of very important people. He said, I gave more time to Cezary than just to anyone else. So this is what he said at the time. That was in that beginning of 2020. So, but I never forget what this whole experience I had with him in first week of 2020 in Las Vegas. He said, Cezary, you know what this means. He said, I cannot say in front of any of this. He said something to me at the time, they were there, but he said to me, Cezary, you know what this means. And I said, I do. But this is the time he said, he told me, from now on, it is just you and I and the great master. He wanted me to totally, not to disregard the rest, but he said, from now on, he said his own words, to me, from now on, it is just you and I and the great master. And I remember standing with him during these days. During these days, we were in the wind, I think. I was standing with him somewhere there. I said to him, this is because now I'm just getting from within, and now I am in the process of him. Um, now there's no more questions, in that sense. I mean, he revealed things which I haven't seen revealed to anyone alive, to Grace and I. And I know that for sure because I spoke to some people, not even they were told things what he said to us at the time. And I remember standing, this beautiful place. And I'm looking at him. We're standing, in the middle of, and I say, because there was a group, we had a dinner with some other guests at the time, So I after the dinner, I will walk him back to where he was staying and things. And every time if I did that, we will always stop and start talking this and that. I was always like that with the master. And I said to him, I'm looking at him. He's looking at me, with this piercing eyes. And I said, because our whole conversation is on inside, literally, we don't even have to speak, conversation within, totally telepathic, whatever you want to call it. And but then he stopped and I stopped and I'm looking at him. He's looking at me, and I say, "This is serious." No, now it's getting. Now I'm getting. What I just got myself into. I say to him, this is serious. This is serious. And he's looking at me and he says, yes. You know how Master could say yes. This is very serious, he said to me. And I'm like, oh, gosh. So, Seva I'm doing this simply because of him and not because of myself, or I'm seeking gratitude of anybody, or I'm doing this for him. But later in November, I asked him, that's in November of 2020, this is he's getting closer to leave this world, which we knew for about a year already, that he's going to wrap things up, invite some people, give directions to the president in front of witnesses. I mean, he did and things like that, see some friends, his older friends, wrap things up and discuss businesses and so on. I mean, we knew what's going to happen in that sense. And but around November, Master will share with us. Okay, we will know. In November, I spoke to him, like I said before, and because I'm kind of man who likes to be in the cave, spiritual cave, not like I'm a caveman, with the stick and stone. I'm just like be like my privacy and like my cave, the cave of Brahma here inside the head. That's what I'm referring to actually. And I remember, asking about my Seva, who about that time, and he says, because now maybe I can get out of it, mom. What did I do? What did I just? What was I thinking? And I said, should I still, I mean, how do you approach the master? I mean, his will is his will. Should I said, because I knew those many people who already had the plans inspired to do certain things. I knew that then. I knew who. I know names. I know everything in that aspect. Who, why, who to call, who did well. So I said that should I stay in the cave? He says no. He denied. He told me no. I can't. He said, "You've been in a cave before. This is you have a." His exact words are, you've been in the cave before. You have a different mission in this life. So what do you do? What do you do? I mean, I learned to when I was with him that when you say yes to the master, that is yes. Yeah. When you promise something to the master, we need to keep the promise. And so the seva I'm doing is like, how is this even possible? I mean, like a guest here with us in the satsang. We spoke yesterday. We had a dinner here, and we spoke yesterday. And why are you here? Right? How is this even possible? I mean, we sometimes we won't even think this thing's going to happen. And I said, it is a destiny. We all have a destiny. So this is all beautiful. So wherever I'm doing, I send my master's love to everyone, to every satsangi up there, every soul, everyone initiated by my master. The love goes, my master's love goes to everyone. We do not separate this thing. These things are so this unconditional love. So the satsangs we have, everyone is welcome. We never like, oh, this person cannot attend, or some people confront me in the first email. They will confront me, and they will speak to me, and they will confront me this and that, and then they may have an experience of such a love that their heart melts, and they don't do that anymore. Not because of me, but because of the experience of love, and that love flows from my master. I do not do anything. I'm just doing the seva for him, but I seen it. I witnessed miracles. Last 3 years, I personally, and guys, you do not know this what had these happenings, of course, because these are private between me and specific people. What they go through, but I seen it. Little miracles happen. How the master can totally rearrange someone's life in a good way. So if I didn't need the proof then from the master, I surely do not need now. So we do respect every group. I respect Babaji Arabhyas. I respect Rajna Singh group. So is everyone else. The group in Bruce, what they doing, I'm not involved in that, but I don't speak, I guess, my seva is different. I do not interfere what anyone does. I can't. And Grace said my master left everyone where they belong to. and that is true. Every out of his sangha, actually, everyone is where they're supposed to be. So there are people in India, they may like me or not. There are people in Bruce, they may like me or not. There are people in Canada, they may like me or not. That is totally irrelevant, but I do not interfere what they do, and they do not interfere where I do. My service is for my master, for the great master. I only answer to them, to my master and to the great master. And wherever my master and great master vested in me, that is I act accordingly to that. And like I said before, the only other person I answer to is my wife. You know, I mean, wife is always the boss at home. She's the neck and I'm just the head, you know. So wherever she turns, so do I. But that is the marriage. That is the marriage part. I would like to say that Grace is very special, a very special soul, and she's. I want to thank my master and the great master that I have opportunity to talk to her and to be with her because she has incredible wisdom and she witnessed many things. I witnessed with the master. She was there, and my master, her master, put us together. You know, and in that sense, and this is to the end, to the last day. So this cannot be anyway. So my respect to her, but this is his will. When I was with the master, he will treat us equally. You know, when he will says something, it will be to both of us. If he granted something, it will be to both of us. So we're doing the seva not out of desperation or should, you know, because we seek it. We do not seek. Yet the grace. Do you seek? She's looking at me. So we are not the seekers, you know. I mean, this is thanks to our master. I cannot say I'm seeking in that sense, but I know what that means, you know, because from other side, I am a seeker. I always will be. We always seek this true home. Now, this true home, if you really want to, this is the question I get many times, you know, how do I not to come back here? And in the beginning, there was some confusion because what is the Great Master initiation? You know, understanding this, my master explained that that means, you know, no more than 4 lifetimes. So it may mean that no more coming back to the physical form, not to be reborn here. So everybody was happy about that in the beginning. Everybody is happy. Okay, well, no, I don't have to be reborn again here. You know, Great Master initiation. If you receive that type of initiation, let me underline that. Okay. But now I notice everybody is like, well, they're okay with that, but now everybody's, what do I do not to ever come back anyway? Not to astral, not to causal, I mean, to really go to Sachkhand, you know, not to just go to the causal and stay there for a million years, you know, human years. So, because that body, that's a different causal body, is different body. So, and this is not something I ever wanted. We totally lost interest in that, you know. I can speak for myself and for Grace. I mean, we don't even speak about these things, you know. But I know many of you do, and so many of you do not want to come back, and you would like to know how not to come back, not just to physical life, but to leave the mind, you know, like for good. So that's this is the reason for a long time I've been advising everyone in this satsang and privately seek the highest. That's why I say seek the highest. Always, seek the highest possible in this life. And I always refer to such calm. And now I am, kind of going step by step, trying to arrange this satsangs. We have this little group, so seek the highest, seek the outlook, and now I'm underlining alak, alak, seek the alak, establish yourself in what we refer to as alak purush or alak naranjan, some call it. Not refers to Khan Naranjan. So this type of consciousness, because the perfect living master takes you to Satlok. And then it's, I'm trying to explain this because these are metaphors, okay? So then this responsibility of Satpurush, how should I say, even merging into Satpurush, it takes responsibility to take you to Alak and so forth and so forth, and that is the pure grace. So I explained that, we practice the Search Yoga as we prescribe by these masters, but the real path starts at Satlok. If you really want to practice Search Yoga, that's where you start. I mean, at Satlok. That's what Swamiji of Agra refers to, my path starts at Satlok and ends in Anami. I mean, do these words exist though? Exactly, no. These are just the metaphors we're trying to explain something. Because the spoken words as we have now, they end at astra, so to speak, and you can't take that too far. So I encourage everyone. The message of this Bhandara is seek the highest. If you really want to leave the show, I mean, like really leave the show, there's something which need to happen, and I'm referring to here to karma and to how that is burned off. So that's why I don't say something I will not practice myself. I am not encouraging anyone to seek the copy, okay? Seek the copy or perfect copy of such kind. I'm actually asking you to seek true such God for your sake and for my sake. So it's not just about you, but I kind of, I gotta think about the deal I have with my master, So because you may spend 20, 30, 50 years and it will take you before you start the path of Santman. So most of us, we want to reach such kind, and then we get that realization, and then we realize, oh, well, I spent 50 years. I mean, if you're lucky in one lifetime, right, or lifetimes, and now I just learned that this is actually the starting point. So please understand that the Surat or Surah Yoga starts here, self-love. This is the sun current you should be seeking, okay? And this sound current is called Sar Shabbat or Sar Shabbat or Sar Shabbat. That is the real one, and this is not, this is the soundless current. And the real realization is beyond the light, even and beyond the sound. Surely beyond the sound in this lower sounds as you experience, in regions. Which I had a very interesting conversation. I mentioned this beautiful soul asked me yesterday, Cezary G, what about if we imagine in this all regions ourselves? Are we kind of like limiting ourselves? That's the word. And I said, whoa, I mean, now you have someone asking me a question which normally takes 20, 30 years on this path. I mean, what is this? What do I say? How do I answer this question? I mean, do I say, well, my answer is meditate with love and devotion, right? Always, that is always the answer. Meditate with the love and devotion. But I can, this is the situation. It's like when I had with the master, right? Privately, he will tell me which things which he could not reveal in front of the Sangha. And my master wasn't just alone in that, I just read a story about someone who went to St. Jonathan, and he shared what St. Jonathan, at least that is his story. I wasn't there, but what St. Jonathan asked him, do you meditate, And the person says, I do not. And I mean, so the answer is no, according to that person, well, now you're ready for the path of the masters. So, and I have to agree with that. So now we have a situation, let's say someone who is 50 years on the path has been initiated by some of these masters, which I respect personally, all of them, they all have their role to play. And they all have their own following, and and some people get discouraged. I just had this experience lately. I mean, there was a gentleman I very feel for that you may spend many years, and either and he, I don't want to quote or anything like that, but many up there, they spent 50 years on the path and they either have no results with the inexperiences, or they just get discouraged because, they may discouraged because of the guru or because of the Sangha or because of, please understand the Sangha, anywhere you go, smaller or larger, this is just the people, just like everyone else, This is you go to church, is the same, everywhere is the same. So these are just characters, and there's always some game in the play. The larger the group, the more powerful and things like that. So, but if you really, I noticed that lately, even within the months, because I studied some translations too. I'm very handicapped because I can only speak English and I don't speak Hindi or Punjabi or Urdu or anything like that. Yeah, so the conclusion is that if you really want to find the truth, you gotta go to find some master living in a cave who will reveal the truth to you. Someone like Ashtavaka. So that whole story about the Ashtavaka, it's King Janaka, it's true, So this is very precious, but I am take full responsibility for everything I say or everything I do, and I encourage everyone who is seeking, who give me a question or they want some advice, this happened many times. Even if you're on this path and we want a master to decide, should I get married? Master tell me, should I get married, or not married? Should I study or not to study? Should I move to this place or that place? And if I would like to make this clear at this point that I am personally, I never try to usually send someone away as a friend. If someone was initiated by my master, Cezary Maharaj, they received the same initiation I received. And they have to actually learn to go to the master. They can ask me as a friend or whatever they take of me, And but actually, they should go within and whatever questions they have to go to my master. Those of you in that situation, I will do my best to help you. But your master is the one who initiated you. And that in the case of Mr. Puri, that was Mr. Puri. So I spoke to someone recently very close to the master, my master. And yes, we agree on this subject, that they should go to meditate and go within to seek the master within and within the questions and so forth. The conclusion of the conversation I had quite a long lately. I won't tell you details forbidden. So, but I do agree with these conclusions that we should go to within to and speak to the master. So, I mean, speak. When you speak inside your head, you speak into your mind. So you have to develop the real connection with the master, with the radiant form of the master, and not just to imagine things, And but this is the way to go. Now, if someone initiated by my master or some other master comes to me, if it was my master, that would be kind of situation I personally lean to. I would like to see the person become independent instead of me being the middleman. Because if you initiated by my master, your connection with him is the same as my connection. Your realization of it may be more or less than mine. We're not comparing each other, but now let's say there's a case of someone who was initiated by different master, already initiated. One of these masters. Oh, I cannot talk about that. So okay, let me. Okay, so let me take a scenario like let's say someone come over for guidance to me, and I really feel responsible for that person. And in other words, the seva I do is totally tied into to that soul. And so, since my master passed away, take an example of great master initiations we had as Bhandara. Okay, so that will be the scenario that is different, totally different. But I spoke to Pranay. I use Pranay as an example because he's he's a very knowledgeable, has a huge knowledge about the path, and he has a questions too, and like all of us have questions, like including me. So maybe not. So I said, Pranay, if someone asked me just to give him a cane, because that is easy, I will not do it. I will not give someone just a cane so he can lean on the cane they once we initiated by someone like my master, we have to really develop. We have a duty to. I will even go as far that we have a duty to finish this whole cycle in this lifetime. Sounds my master proved to me that he was a perfect living master. I do not see any other options that for anyone who was initiated by him, but to seek the highest. Now, how many will do that? That is not up to me. He master told me privately, Cezary, he said it was in reference to the causal state, to the Trikudi, so I was always wondering about what he said to me at the time, and I said, wow, I thought like we all going to Zechka no matter what, right? So then I came across this video of a clip of the video of Mr. Puri. It's on the Ishmael Puri Sanma. So he clarifies through some of these videos, he says, the Great Master Initiation, what it means is you do not have to be reborn in a physical body again. But there's this whole concept of karma being worked out on the, let's say, astral plane, okay? So the question becomes, well, what about, if you don't want to go after this life to the astral and you receive great master initiation, what then? Or you don't want to be no more than 4 lifetimes or 3 more lifetimes. Please understand that when you're up there in astral, let's say, your awareness is different than here. You operate through the senses, but they are more refined than here in this through the physical body. And let's see you see the past, the present, and future from that state of awareness. At least let's within the astral form. Let's say so. How do you make a decision? You can't. The decisions have to be made here in the physical body. This is where the choice comes in. So we're here because we can make a choice. We can say yes or we can say no, including the master. If you're in a physical form, you seek in, you need a master who has also a physical form. If you are initiated by the master and he passed away, that is a different situation. We spoke about that. I don't want to address this right now, but please understand that just looking at the picture of the dead master, it's not going to help you. I mean, there are many great masters, away from Swamiji to Sanjama Sen to the great master to Mr. Puri, for example, and whoever is doing Mr. Puri's work this now. So, and this will be the end. This will be the last. So, and also these branches, from the great master to someone, it's endless almost. And from Agra and from Swamiji and from Rari Sarigram and so on. So you need a living person because only a living person can say no to you. And there's another aspect of crossing from Trikudi to Vanvarguva. That's why you need a living master. And the final stage is a satlok, because you need to know how to go about it. Let's assume someone have this realization in this lifetime, and then what? What do you do? So you need the help of the master to act normal, because we have to go to work, we have to pay our bills, and all the rest. So is the perfect living master necessary? Yes, it is from that point of view. There's some requirements according to Santmat. If you want to go, some people know about this and most do not. What that is. So that's why you need the perfect living master, not the astral master, because astral master is not going to tell you that. He can only take you to astral region, and there is a such there waiting for you. But like I said, the real path of social yoga, this starts way up here. This is the spiritual yoga. The social yoga is a pure spiritual yoga. This is not the Kundalini yoga, although they start practice this as Kundalini yoga. Some will say, well, you cannot start from the center of the head. You gotta go through the Kundalini yoga process and so on. Even those who were initiated by my master, I noticed they have this different sides and different, workshops, and they teach in pranayama yoga, or they tapping into the kriya yoga. They're not even teaching santmat. Some of them, some of people they were initiating even. I mean, I don't even want to go into the subject, but just understand that the kriya yoga is not going to take you beyond, where. Om is not the ultimate mantra either. This is right here on my home. So we're speaking about something way beyond. I do. I studied some of these different religions. He spoke about Jainism, right? So I mean, you can go to the real extremes, but the social yoga is a purely spiritual yoga. This is the yoga as a, this two Shabbat. This is not something you can hear with the physical ears, okay? But the human form is all prewired for that, so we can all practice that if we know how. Most people don't know. I find out last 3 or so years that most people never practice, not only don't practice Sucha Yoga, but they don't even practice the Nirat part of the Santmat, which is to get to the Sattva, or the other side of that, which will be Surat. I don't mean Surat as attention, I mean the Surat as the Sankura, attention to that. So I will end this satsang. I stay a little bit longer after the satsang. I take some questions if someone has it, because last time interviews we had for this Bhandara was like 12 hours, So we had a lot of interviews, a lot of people who contacted me. So 1 hour for you, when we're having these interviews, the 1 hour for you is not like 1 hour for me, I think we're doing a couple of hours, and I'm just asking what time it is, and it's like 9 hours. But I do not experience 9 hours. My body does, but maybe sitting on the chair for that long, I become frozen like this, right? Walking. But please understand that I am in a different time frame. Okay, if 1 hour for you is 10 minutes for me, or something like that. So at that moment, okay, not like around the clock. I go to work and do the best I can. I need to sleep too. So I want to send you great master blessings, and these are unlimited blessings, and my master blessings. I mean, this is something that can be described. This is when I say you can wish for anything, I really mean it. Most people do not take that. Maybe I said that the Bhandara, you can really wish for anything, and I spoke. I really said that, and I meant it too. But I just look at everybody. What does Cezary say? Well, I mean, I can wish for it. What can I wish for this or that? I can just feel it, and so I said that the Bhandara. Well, maybe you need a better, mostly we wish we like how about to have a better job, right? Or better cars falling apart or win the lottery. But I wasn't actually meaning that for you to wish that. I really meant to have a truly spiritual wish. Why is that? Because there's a center here, it's right here. And if you understand how this process works, then you will understand the center between the eyebrows and behind. If you understand how this really works, then you will understand how powerful this can be, and this can manifest. Well, yeah. So I will say, so when I mean like that, I mean, process of manifestation, the spiritual goal. Okay, I don't want to give you the most secrets of that. You can hear all these speakers, how to manifest, how to, what you think and becomes a reality, all of that. They don't know how this really works. They think they do, and everybody, but this is a very powerful. So you have to be very careful, and very careful what you're wishing for, in that sense. So, and most people wishing for the good, for things of this world. They're always seeking outside, and that's what they get, and that's what they desire, and they get trapped, but they will come back. If there's anything remaining, you will come back. What brings you back here is this desire, and the final desire in the moment of death, in that sense. So that has to be resolved. Your sensual is resolved, your pride, you're finishing your pride, but that karma, that has to be also. So nothing can hold you here except, yeah, we are prisoners of our own mind in that sense. If we were not the prisoners of our own mind, nothing can keep you here. And this is not just me speaking, but this is like some of these masters we speak about, like some chants, and they will reveal some of these things. So thank you for this Bhandara, and I send you the blessings. Some of the screens are off, so be it. Thank you. Let's stop recording.